Hello there, welcome back. Oh, you're here to learn how to feeble thanks to this person that wanted me to do this for them. Sorry I forgot your name, but give you a little comment, shout out there. Anyway, today we're going to learn how to feeble grind. Feeble grind is of course when your front tire is on the ledge and your back peg is on the ledge. One of the most basic grinds, in my opinion. It's the first grind I learned, even though, in my opinion, a double peg is easier. Feeble grind is definitely the most beginner one because I think a lot of ledges don't slide very well for double peg. So pretty much you could do feeble anything. As long as you can get onto it, you could probably feeble it. Will it slide? Don't know, but at least you won't die by flipping over the bars. So today we're gonna go over the feeble grind on this ledge. So let's get started. Feeble grind. That is where front tire, back peg is on the ledge or rail, whatever it is, an object, and you grind against it or stall. Left side or right side, that's really up to you. If you are left foot forward, the traditional way is to grind on the left side. If you're right foot forward, traditional way is to grind on the right side. Of course, we have some abnormal people out there. Just kidding. Can't be offending the goofy footed people out there, you know. It doesn't really matter left or right, because I'm sure you're gonna learn to grind both ways anyway. I would really start off this grind on something small. This is a little bit, it's about 4 high. It might be a little bit too high for you if you're trying to learn how to do a feeble grind for the first time. I would definitely try to start something a little bit more like around, maybe just a little bit above peg. I would personally approach the ledge very slowly. If you do mess up, A, you won't fall too badly, and B, you won't mess up your bike too badly. When I was first learning these, I missed my back peg a lot. It caused me to grind on my frame because frames were a little bit different back then, where it was just really vulnerable to getting hit here a lot. So my chainstay actually ended up being flattened. That's why I say really start off on something smaller. That way you can kind of really get better control of your bike versus trying to just grind the highest thing in the world. I would approach the ledge very slow. That way, in case anything happens, you could go even this slow and just get on the ledge like that. In my opinion, it's a little bit better to go at a small angle, not a super angle, just a little bit of an angle. That way you don't have to shift as much. You can just kind of like run into the ledge. Makes it a little bit easier versus going right parallel against it, because then you kind of have to like shift over, which isn't as easy. It's a little bit more work that way. But if you just go at a little bit of an angle and just aim for your front tire towards the edge, back peg should follow. If you're high enough, if you could get high enough, you'll slide for sure. As far as back peg first or front tire first, I personally like doing landing front tire first. It just kind of sets like a guide, just makes me balance a little bit better. I've noticed that when I actually try to purposely land back peg first to see how that would feel, and I didn't really like it. It just felt kind of awkward and my balance was a little bit off. When I land front tire first, balance is way easier. Positioning. To get on the ledge, obviously it's just front tire, back peg, but it's a little bit more to it than that, because when I first started doing feebles, I kept my front tire really far in by mistake, thinking that's safer because I'm not gonna fall off, but that's actually making you more prone to falling your back peg off because the angle of the bike is changing like this and your back tire is rubbing against the ledge, and it only has about like that much gripping of the peg in the back here. So you don't want to bring the front tire in too much because it'll be harder for your back to stay on like that, and then you end up falling on your crank arm. It doesn't work. You almost want to treat a ledge like a thin rail. So I try to aim my front tire pretty close to the edge here. That way the bike is more straight than angled, especially if you're moving forward. You want to keep the bike straight. That way you can actually keep going on the ledge. Notice how the back peg has a lot more contact with the ledge here versus that, which has very little contact. As far as pegs go, I would recommend with metal pegs at first. They grip a little bit better on the back. Because the plastic pegs do slide really well, it's a little bit more slippery as well, which is a little bit more difficult in my opinion to learn. coming off the ledge, now that you're on the ledge, how do you get off the ledge, right? So if you're going fast enough, you will be able to just use momentum and pull your front end up, and then the rest will just follow. Pull off the ledge with your front tire. Hopefully you don't do one of these and then have your back peg stuck on there. If you're going too slow, that might happen. Or if you're just not pulling up hard enough. So you really want to pull up hard when you're coming off the ledge. If you came to a stop per se, pull your front end up first a little bit, and then use that momentum to get the rest of your bike off. Like that. So always try to pull your front end up first, and then just kind of lead with the front end, and the rest will follow. Once you figure out maybe that slow part first, then you can start speeding things up and actually grinding. Slowly progress to a faster speed, but always remember to aim your front tire towards the edge, not all the way to the edge because you don't want to fall off and end up in a double peg, but close to the edge. That way your bike will stay on the actual ledge. That's one thing that I noticed I used to screw up a lot because I just lean in too much. As far as trying to grind longer, like having that balance to like keep going, in my opinion, I've noticed what people do is when they're really doing long feeble grinds, they really lean forward a lot, tucking in like this almost, like really bar humping a lot, leaning forward, because I think that way the weight doesn't transfer to the back as much, and then the weight of this pulling down on the back end doesn't happen as much. So it's like the peg's kind of just being dragged versus being pulled down. If you're trying to aim for longer grinds, try to lean forward a little bit. So we'll do a couple feeble grinds here. So if you noticed on that grind there, when I came off, I kind of did like a little bunny hop off of it just to like help me get off the ledge a little bit easier. That's where that like crappy bunny hop skill kind of comes in handy. Yeah, that's really it. Once you figure it out, you can do it your opposite side, different types of variations, you know, manual to feeble, feeble to manual. Remember, film yourself, always film yourself, because you want to know what's going on. I guarantee you're leaning in way too much if you're having trouble with this trick. Start off on a small ledge. That's what I did. I used to ride like a ledge this high for like hours, just feeble grinding it, just to like understand like balance and, you know, distance and all that stuff. And then just work your way up to a higher ledge. Obviously your bunny hop skills will matter. I hope that helped. And if you have any questions, as always, leave it in the comments. I try to reply to every comment I can. If you have a specific problem, send me a video of yourself on my Instagram, DM me at DustinNotJustin. Yeah, I really hope this helped you, especially the person that asked for this. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.